Good morning. Hope you're all well. Hello. Just checking, making sure that you guys can hear me okay and see me all right. Let me know. All right, let's see. Think it should be streaming okay. Yep. All right. Yes, streaming right across the board and also on TradingView as well. Okay, great. Okay, it is a Friday. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me again. If you are new to the stream, do again drop a message and say hi. Let me know where you're joining us from. And for all the regulars, a big welcome back. It has been a huge week for me. I hope it's been for you guys as well. We've had a lot of news this week, a lot of central banks, some surprise, well, one surprising the markets, most of them not doing too much, but still leading to good movements in price. So hope you've been trading well. Put it into the chat and let me know how you've been. What else was I going to say? We just had the UK with their, I think, retail sales number being released. We'll look into that shortly. And if you can help me out massively, do remember to click that like and subscribe button as we go through the session. And if you have any questions at any point in time, please feel free to put it into the chat and let me know. Okay, it is a Friday, end of the week. We're going to wrap up the trading week, go through a quick review of what has happened through the week. We'll look into next week of what's coming up. And we'll look for some possible trade setups for today. It might be a quiet day. It will be one for me. I'm pretty much done for the week. I've had all my trades done. I don't think I'll do any more later today. But we never know, if a good setup comes around, we'll have a look at that. Yeah, with that said, quick disclaimer. Any information contained on this webinar should not be construed as advice and is presented as educational material only. So please remember that the contents of this webinar are not intended to be a recommendation to trade a financial product. And let me do something first, hang on. And your objectives, financial situation and needs has not been considered, and you should consider its appropriateness to your circumstances. And please remember, I've got that introductory video up. Please remember, I get this every day, multiple times a day. Please remember that I do not run any Telegram channels. It has Jindal Thai Investments, it has crypto, it has me on other brokers, it has me on trading equities and all kinds of stuff. I do not run any Telegram channel. If you get approached on Discord or on Telegram or whatever platform asking you to join a Telegram channel using my name, please do not join that channel. Please report that channel. It's not something that I run or I operate, or it's never done with me knowing what's happening. Okay, so with that serious warning aside, let's get into the news. We just had retail sales number. It was 3.4, revised up to 3.6. Expected a minus 0.4, came out at a 0 for the UK. Retail sales number at 0.0%. It doesn't seem to have too big an impact on the pound dollar. Still on that downward trajectory. I'll get into that shortly. But before we move on, I'm still coughing and going crazy. But before we go on, a quick good morning to Ju Marinas. How are you doing? Hey Christina. Hey Jimmy. Hey Lily. How are you doing? Hey World of Comics. How are you doing? Hey Richard. Nice to see you. Good to have you with us. Okay. And also on to Goju and D-Train. How are you all doing? Now, with that, what happened yesterday? What happened yesterday since the last time we spoke? A whole bunch of news at 4:30 p.m. GMT plus 8. 4:30 p.m. GMT plus 8. The Swiss National Bank, SNB, Swiss National Bank came around and surprised markets again. I told you about this yesterday. I told you about this all through my live sessions. I don't like the Swiss National Bank too much. Why? Because they tend to surprise markets. They have a habit of surprising markets. We did not expect, or most of the markets, or pretty much everyone did not expect the Swiss National Bank to cut rates, expecting them to hold it at 1.75%. But the Swiss National Bank cut rates to 1.5%, cut by 25 basis points. The first of the central bankers to cut rates, to get into a tightening of their monetary policy. What happened because of this rate cut? We saw a massive weakening of the Swiss franc, taking it from that 38.2 retracement level, bouncing off together with that trend line to the upside, bouncing off 0.8846 or 8850 up within the hour to 8974, and it continued on through the night to as high as 8994, almost 8995, and it's sitting there right now. Okay, I'm on the H4. Go back to H1. Okay, so it pushed up overnight as high as 889590, and it's sitting there right now. Okay, so that's what has happened on the US Swiss franc because of that surprise news from the Swiss National Bank. I did not catch this move. Bouncing off to the upside. Did any of you catch this move? I don't think many people would have caught that move. So let me know if you did. Because we were all expecting it to hold, so I don't think most people would have caught that move. Then through that, PMI numbers, wasn't too concerned. Okay, so why did the Swiss National Bank cut rates by 25 basis points? I actually wrote something up. Let me see if I can bring it up quickly. Okay, so I wrote that up. Can you guys see it? Let me just check, make sure you guys can see that. Okay, you guys should be able to see that. Hey Digital Business, how you doing? Hey Pips Apprentice, hi Sirin, hope you're well. Hey Nav caught the pound Swiss franc and US Swiss franc. Yes, fantastic. They meet every quarter. Well, they tend to surprise. So why did they cut rates? Mainly is because they cut rates because inflation dipped to 1.2% in February. It was a 9th successive month where inflation was at that between that 0 to 2% target range, and that's why the SNB viewed that the price stability has been reached, giving it that confidence to cut rates, right? Giving it that confidence to be the first one to cut rates, and that's why we saw that surprise move from the SNB. Then we had PMI numbers all through. Didn't do too much to prices, and then at 8 p.m. GMT plus 8 last night we had the Bank of England for the UK. Official bank rate held at 5.25. No surprises there. Together with the bank rate voting, it went from 216 to 0.18. Again, no surprises there. It came out exactly as we had planned. I actually did a I did an early trade on that for the pound dollar, as we had discussed yesterday. You'll see here. Where am I? Okay. As we had discussed yesterday, the pound dollar, I was looking to sell at 1.2780, 25 to 70. 1.2780 right there. I got in early, right, as it was pushing down at the end of our session yesterday. I saw it breaking, and then after that it bounced back up as it was pushing back down again. I did get in a little bit naughty, got in early there at 1.2780 and left it. I had the risk margin, so I was taking a little bit more risk to get in onto trades earlier for this time, because I had my yen and my couple of other trades from earlier this week. So 25 to 70, it shot down. I didn't bother after that because that's it. I was done. I was pretty much done for the week. It shot down and hit my 70 pip. I think I had it even down to 80 actually, right? Just down to that point there. So I think just below 80 or just at about 80 pips to the downside there on the pound dollar, with that interest rate decision of keeping rates on hold, of voting at 0.18 as expected. It moved perfectly as planned. Anyone else? I hope this was one of those textbook trade setups that came around quite nicely. I hope you guys caught that move as well. If you didn't catch it at that point, you would have at least at 8 at that point caught it from 1.2746 downwards. You could have got in, if you didn't get in early, you could have got in on that news as well. Maybe even at that point, you could have traded it down at least 30 pips, 60 pips towards that swing low. Or if you were super aggressive, you could have gone all the way down for 130 and you'll be holding on to that trade to the downside. Let me know how you guys went. Anyone traded the Bank of England news rate decision? And I hope you all made money on that. All right, I'm feeling super not great, but yeah. Okay, so that was the pound dollar news from yesterday. Linley did fantastic at 60 pips on the pound dollar, I think. Pound USD. Very nice. Hey Booba, how are you doing? Good morning. Then we had the US unemployment claims at 8:30. Didn't bother too much. Didn't change too much as well. PMI numbers, I was way over all my trades. I didn't bother with that. I don't think it moved too much. Essentially what we saw on the dollar index was, this was where we were yesterday. We were anticipating that it might come down and push up towards that resistance level. But it didn't come down. It just went straight up to 103.80 all the way up to 104.20 right now. So I don't think it was so much. It was a little bit of retracement strength on the dollar, but it was more, I felt, because of the weakness on the Swiss franc, the weakness on the pound, the weakness on the euro. I got into that to the downside as well, right? I think that one there, I did that trade. I think I was talking to you guys about that on Discord. The weakness of the pound, the euro, the Swiss franc, all across the board, that led to the dollar index pushing to the upside. I don't think it was dollar strength. I think it was weakness across the other pairs that led to that push up on the dollar. Okay, so I actually expected a further retracement, or this kind of retracement today. I thought it would happen today, with it being end of the week, with it being after a big move through the week. I thought that retracement would come, but it happened a little bit earlier than I expected, pushing right back up. Ignore this tail and this tail. I don't know what happened there. Okay, so that was the news from yesterday evening. Today we just had the retail sales number. Don't seem to be moving prices too much. Later on we do have the Euro Summit all day. Don't think it's going to do too much. Chair Powell is speaking at 9 p.m. GMT plus 8 due to deliver opening remarks at Fed Listens event in Washington, D.C. Don't think this will be a big event either, right? So I don't think this is going to do too much in terms of prices because of what has happened this week. So let's do a quick overview of what has happened this week. Right, we had the RBA with no decision on their interest rates, keeping it at 4.35%. Rate statement a little bit dovish. We saw a downward push on the dollar, on the Aussie dollar, with a little bit of a dovish statement from the RBA. We had a bit of a surprise from the BOJ with a first rate hike in 17 years. So we saw the Bank of Japan go from a minus 0.1 to a 0.1% on their policy rate. Unfortunately, we didn't see that strength on the yen. Instead, we saw a continuation of a weakness on the yen to its historic high right now. Then following on from that, we had the Fed keeping rates at 5.5%. Very brief weakness on the dollar over the Thursday. Then we had what we just spoke about, the Swiss National Bank and the Bank of England weakening, likely to be the ones pushing the dollar back up and then through to today. Okay, so a lot of things happened. A lot of things happened this week. Big opportunities. I'm pretty sure a lot of you had good trades. I've seen all the updates on the Discord channel. Again, if you're new to the session and you haven't joined us on Discord, the links are there for you guys to join us on Discord. Yeah, so let me know. Let me know how do you guys go for the week. I'm not going to tell you how many pips I made for the week. Quite a bit this week especially. I was on half a aggressive mode because I've been away for that couple of weeks, trying to trade a little bit more. Markets were setting up very nicely, but I think that this week has been very, I don't want to say easy, but very conducive for the trade setups we were looking at. So let me know how you guys went. Jew Mariners got onto the EU and NU, very nice. I got onto the Aussie this morning. Pushing to the downside as well. Right, I'm still holding on to that. I'm still trying to try and get to my take profit at 40 pips on that one. Okay, and then let's have a look at what's coming up next week. There we go, next week. So you managed to catch some on gold and CAD yen. You guys love all your cross pairs. And next week on Monday, not too much. Tuesday, consumer confidence, Aussie CPI on Wednesday, something to look forward to. That could paint a bit of picture. Could paint a picture for the RBA with their this week's interest rate decision. Whether they're on the right track, 3.4% currently. We'll look for a update on that as it comes around. The CAD GDP on Thursday. Nothing much there. And then again, a reminder on Friday, it is, let me see if I got the right one there. Good Friday. All right, it is Good Friday next Friday. So please remember, I won't be doing a stream next Friday. I will be on a Good Friday duties, on Good Friday break. So there will be no stream on Friday, but we do have the US core PCE price index month to month to be released. That is a factor, or that is a data, an inflation data that the FOMC pays attention to. So that might be something to look out for. But overall, you see that that next week might be a little bit of a quieter week with a long weekend ahead as well. Okay, so hope you guys took advantage of the moves this week. Hey Adrian Bile, how you doing? Okay, so now with all that said, I think that it would be for today without much news. I think that we're looking at some short-term continuation, but it might come to the point where we might not have a lot of trades if it's near our key support or resistance levels. A lot of things to watch out for, but maybe for activation, I'm not too, I don't think there'll be many trades today. Okay, we'll look at the charts. Buba, have a question. If you're on drawdown trade, how do you manage the risk? Allowing it to smart stop loss is very annoying. If you're on a drawdown trade, I mean, think about why you're in a drawdown trade. Is it right? Is it a wrong trade, right? Like, is it entirely wrong, or is it fluctuating in a drawdown? Or, you know, if it's wrong, then I wouldn't let it even hit stop loss. I would just close out because it's gone against you. How do you manage the risk? Yeah, you know, if you're we're looking at stop loss. I mean, based on our setups that we're always looking at. Oh, mine is coming close to take profit. Based on the setups we're looking at, it's all quite tight at 20-30 pip stop losses. So very often, you know, either we close out a little bit earlier or it hits our stop at 20-30 pips. You can take a reevaluate and take a reverse trade. But if you have a wide stop, then it might make sense to close out a little bit earlier and then reevaluate why you got into a drawdown trade, a trade that led to a significant drawdown. Okay, I hope that helps you a little bit there, Buba. Okay, so onto the dollar. Let me just zoom out a little bit and see what's happening here. We have our resistance there. We have a swing high level there. Okay. So let me move this back. Take this away because that's done. It's pushed up. 61.8 is still there. That's continuing. Okay. Question from Digital Business is, how do you get back to a good mindset and profitability after a while of trading? Well, see, so if I haven't been trading, technically I always am looking at the markets. Whether I enter a trade or not, I'm, you know, it's a habit that I fire up my laptop. I'll have a look at where prices are. But if you haven't been looking at it for a while, then I would just take some time. I think you guys have seen me do that earlier in the year, where I took some time off in December and then came back. I spent about a week just getting a feel of how markets are moving, you know, reading what has happened, reading, looking at the charts and seeing where it's heading towards, reviewing my lines before I do jump into any trades. So do take the time to get familiar with it again. Seems like I've not had a good trading month since the beginning of this year, kind of feeling stuck. The most straightforward thing I would say is if you're feeling you're getting to trades and you're getting stuck, you're losing trades, zoom right out, look at where the trend is, look at what the trend is, look for trend following trades, get started small again, look for it to bounce off a support or break a resistance. Just keep it simple, follow the trend, and then, you know, kind of trade with the trend. That's exactly what we're doing here, right? So I would pare it all down, keep it simple, and then just trade with the trend. Hope that answers. I hope that helps. Not just digital business and Booba, but everyone else who might come across a situation like that as well. Okay, today being March the 22nd, we are at currently 104.27. You see that there is a bit of a previous swing high here. Okay, and it's bounced off this point. I do see it coming to 104.60. Actually, I like that point. I put it there, just a bit more relevant. So I see it coming to 104.60, and if beyond that, it could creep towards 105. Okay, so we're looking at it pushing up towards 104.60, and then possibly, I think that would be, for today, I think that would be that move towards that resistance level. So on the dollar index, we'll be looking for a continuation of the upside to retest 104.60 resistance level. Okay, so again, for if you're having difficulty, that's what I do. You know, I look at it as I go, okay, I'm not going to get too fancy. It's been pushing to the upside. I'm going to just look for it to come up to test that level. I'm looking at dollar strength scenarios. Then as I kind of build that bias of a dollar strength scenario, I'll look into the Kiwi, right? Look, we were looking for it to test and reject. It didn't do that, but instead it just dropped all the way down, right? This was yesterday. At that point, dropped all the way down, tested this support, now turned resistance level, and then continued lower. Right now, it is at, we can take that away. Right now, it is at that 61.8. See that long-term push to the upside. It is at that 61.8. We can take this away and take that away. Okay. So it is at that 61.8 level, right? Which we've seen it holding right now. If it breaks below this point, then we're likely to see it come down towards that support level at 5948 or 5950. We can even go down to, let me see. 5950 would be fair. So looking at the current, if it keeping a simple trade, would be on the H1 time frame here, looking at the dollar strength pushing it, dollar strength continuing to the upside. If it does break below this point, I'll be looking at below 0.6. Stop loss no more than 20 pips. Take profit down to 0.5950. I would say a good 45 pips would be reasonable that way. Okay, so that would be Kiwi, sell 0.6, stop loss 20 pips, take profit 45 to the downside. Then, let me see. Okay, I'm happy with that. Then on to the Aussie, coming close to my take profit. Okay, I'll leave it. I'll let it run. Now, that one is done. That's done. We were thinking that it could bounce. Didn't happen. Take that away. Again, broken all the way down. Now, at this point, looking at this, I don't see anything here. What I'll be looking for again on that dollar strength scenario, looking for it to break that previous swing low. Let me just close out my trade. I want to close out that Aussie. Okay. All right, close out that Aussie trade. Yeah, so I tend to like to close out even before it hits my take profit. When it comes close, I'll just close it out. So onto the Aussie, expecting that dollar strength to continue. We have that big swing low here at 6445 with a bit of an interim here. I think that it would be reasonable, but it needs to break. Right, Aussie needs to break below this point. Then you'll be looking to sell down below 6.5. So 6.495. Stop loss again, no more than 20 pips. Take profit could go down to about 50 pips to the downside. All right, so this one we're looking for dollar strength continuation, so we're looking to sell at 0.6495, 2250. Hey YJ, how you doing? 6495, stop loss 20, take profit 50. Was it 50? Yes, 20 to 50. Okay. There we go. Right, so onto Aussie, it needs to break that swing low first. So we give it a bit more time. Onto the Kiwi as well, it needs to break past, that's fine. Onto the US yen. All right, US yen, we were looking for it to break back down again. Did not happen. Let's take that away. I can't remember why I have this. Take that away as well. It's pushed right back up. It's tested that historic high at 151.80 or 151.90. You'll see that on the H4 time frame. This was a level we've came across. One time, two times, now the third time. Or third and fourth time. It's in this range. Right, it's in this range. I would say stay away from it for now. I do think that there might be a bit of an further upside. Right, you see this, even if you had this, it's holding. It looks like it's pushing back up. Could it break resistance and push higher? Yes, I think that it's going to be choppy around this range. Right, I would prefer to wait and possibly look for a push back down, but I don't think it's going to come soon. Okay, so because of that, I would stay away from yen. Stay away for now. All right, give it a bit of time to develop and see what's going to happen in this region before or between these areas before we decide what could happen next. If I did this, right, it could get to 153. Yeah, but I think it's going to be choppy. You could, best guess would be you look to buy it up. And you look for 100 pips, stop loss can be tight at about 30 or 35, 40 pips like that. But I think that there's going to be a lot of chop and change in this area. Hey Ray, good morning, how are you doing? All right, so you could look at that kind of setup. I don't think it's going to happen today. Maybe it's going to pop up and come right back down. But I would just prefer to look at the other pairs rather than try and squeeze something out on the US yen for now. Then onto the pound. Look at that. All the way down onto the pound. Now testing that support level. We saw a big downside on the pound. We're done with that. Take that away. Don't need that. The support here is changed to a resistance. Testing the support. 61.8 from that short-term move. I don't think it's worth doing that because that's broken. We don't even need that for now. We have that swing low. What I'll be looking for, if you look at a Bollinger, it's close. So you got a bit of a Bollinger as a support. You have that support level there. What I would be looking for on that dollar strength scenario would be for it to break 1.26. Break 1.26. So 1.2585, stop loss 30 pips at the very most. Take profit could go down to 65 towards the next support level at 1.2520. Okay, so again, pound, I'm looking for it to break that support level 1.2585, stop loss 30, take profit 65 to the downside. We're looking at very bullish dollar views or dollar setups right now, so something to watch out for as well. It needs to break the level 1.2585, 2585, stop loss 30, take profit 65. Okay, needs to break that support. And then onto the euro. I traded the euro down on that, again an early trade. I think we were talking about this. It came down to that 50, bounced back up a little bit. I closed out, was going to go home. Linley was asking whether it was going to head down lower. Yes, I thought it was going to go down. It continued back down. It bounced back up before continuing back down again. Now that it's broken that support, now turned resistance. So you see everything breaking a good support level. Heading down towards the and also that 50% level, heading down towards the 61.8 and that support level there. I don't think, okay, I think that it's going to head lower, right? I think that it's going to head lower. What I would like to see is a little bit of a retest, because at this point, if I was looking to sell, right, it would be a 20 pips for a 20 pip take profit. I don't think it would be worth doing any, don't think it'd be worth that kind of trade or that kind of setup. I would like to see it bounce back up a little bit. Even if it does bounce, I don't think it'd be worth doing. Let me think. Anything here? We got CAD retail sales number showing some weakness. No euro news here. I don't see a reason for this to bounce. I don't see a reason for the euro to bounce. I think that it's not a today thing. I don't think this is a today setup. I think that although we're looking at further downside on the euro, I think, you know, the safer option, we have a lot of other opportunities on the Kiwi, the Aussie, the pound. I think we can take a bit of a more conservative view here on the euro, that if it breaks below the support at 1.0785, I would have a 20 pip stop loss. I would have a good 60 pip take profit towards that big support level down there at 1.07. Okay, so probably nothing to do right here, but looking for it to break that support level first, because this is formed by that 61.8 and that previous swing low level. So I want to respect that level quite a bit. So 1.0785, 20 to 60. 1.0785, stop loss 20, take profit 60. to the downside. Right, dollar retracing a little bit right now, that's fine. Then onto the US Swiss franc. Again, we know why that pushed up. If I took this all the way, right, we have 38.2 there. We don't need those levels. I don't think this is going to retrace. And it is right in the middle of the range of that support and resistance level. Let me see. I don't think we need any of that. 23 is there. Looks like it's going to continue pushing up together with the dollar index. So we're looking at this possibly pushing up towards the resistance of 9050. We're looking for a reaction along that point. Again, I wouldn't do anything there. I would say dollar Swiss or the Swissy will be to look for reaction at resistance of 0.9050. Okay. How are you finding it all so far? You guys haven't told, not many of you have told me how you went on your trades for this week. Again, remember, if you can help me out, do remember to click that like and subscribe button. Hasn't been a lot to look at, so this is going to be a short and sharp session because it's the end of the week. I'm possibly not looking at too many trades. The Chinese yuan falls to a 4-month low. That's interesting. What am I looking at now? Okay. Anyone got onto the CAD? We spoke about the CAD yesterday as a bounce off this support, interim support level. I did not get into this trade. I kind of always end my trading session even before a CAD move comes around. So not one of the big ones I look at. But remember that tonight at 8:30 p.m. GMT plus 8, we do have CAD retail sales number, core retail sales month to month, expected to go from a 0.6 to a minus 0.4, while retail sales likely to drop from a 0.9 to a minus 0.4. Herein waiting for a confirmation on CAD. What I think is likely, if it does come out at that negative number for the retail and core retail sales number, we could see further weakness on the CAD together with that dollar strength. It's going to see that push up. Again, between that support and resistance right in the middle, not too keen to get into a trade, but I think that we could see it get towards that resistance of 1.3617. Could it break that level? I don't think so. So what I would probably be looking at as a bit of a counter trend move, and based on what we've seen recently over at these support level or this resistance level, would be I'll show you what I think, a test and reject back down. So I will be looking at about a 1.3605, stop loss 20, take profit right down 60 pips to the downside. Okay, so CAD, I would look for a counter, look for reversal at resistance. I'll look to sell at 1.3605. 1.3605, stop loss 20, take profit 60. There we go. Yep. Okay. then onto gold, right? Totally reversed again. So totally didn't expect that as the dollar strengthened. We were looking for gold to maintain its bullish push to the upside, but it went right up there and then came right back down because of that dollar strength. So right back down now at 21.66, 21.67. Dollar strength could push this right back down to the support. I would say I look for a reaction down at the support for possible bounce. So I'll look for reaction at 21.47 again. I don't think we need that anymore. $2,200 was there. This point is fair. Yep. I think that dollar strength could push this back down a little bit more. We're looking for reaction along 21.47. Could be a bounce back up to about 21.60. But I wouldn't actually be too keen. I want to see what happens here first. Okay, so on gold, I want to see a could retest 21.47. Look for reaction at the key support level. Okay, there we go. Short and sharp. It was a quick session today. I mean, I think that all the moves, all the excitement was what we had through the week. We've seen the Kiwi push, where we started the week. When did we start the week? On the 18th. So we started on the 18th right there. Let's push right back down. Dollar weakness. Saw it come back up to test a week high before coming crashing right back down again. Same with the Aussie. Actually, a bit more on the Aussie. Right, it pushed down. So this push down was because of the RBA interest rate decision or indecision. Then the Fed Reserve with that big push up, and then the strength back onto the dollar, pushing it right back down again. US yen was where was it? On the 18th. Wait, was it 18th? Yeah, 18th, where we saw on the 19th, where we saw the Bank of Japan release its interest rate decision of hiking rates first time in 17 years, and we saw the yen just weaken all the way up. And then the FOMC pushed it right back down again, tested the trend line, and then dollar strength pushed it right back up again to form a bit of a double top. And that is one reason why I'm not so keen on doing anything there on the yen, is because you would also notice that we have a double top here at a key resistance level. As much as we have our support level here formed by this point, if it does come down, break that trend line and break this level here, that's likely to form that confirmation for that big push to the downside with a double top and breaking of that valley there. So looking for that big push down. That's something I'm looking for. Pound dollar, we started off here. We started off about here. A push down dollar, pushed up on a dollar because of the FOMC, right back down because of the BOE. I think that for today, if I do get into any trades, it would most likely only be pound dollar. If it breaks that support, I'll look for that 60 pip to the downside. Euro dollar, again, no big news on the euro this week, but we see it being affected by the dollar index as we saw it bounce right back up off that support level. Again, dollar strength pushing it right back down, now turned resistance. Swiss franc, big surprise from the SMB. We saw that big push up on that dollar, on the SMB to the upside, and then USCAD, big turn down because of the dollar weakness, and then back up again on that dollar strength. So huge week. If you don't feel like you're going to have a lot of trades for today, maybe it's a good time to take a break. Please have a good weekend ahead, a fantastic weekend ahead. If you are trading, please trade well, trade safe, and if you have any questions, please join us on Discord and reach out on Discord. I'll be happy to help you there as well. Take care now, guys. I'll see you all next week, same time, same place. Bye-bye now.